Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to Rotor Trippin' with BHR. I'm your host Charles Hill from Black Halo Racing. We're out here in Santa Ana, California today to hang out with Louis and Rochelle Escamilla, owners of DNA Garage. From what I've read on their website, they've been in business for about 20 years, and we're going to go in and ask Louis a few questions about his business, and then we're going to do a little thing at the end, pick one kind of deal. We're going to put him on the spot with some questions that he's not been asked yet, and we'll see how he takes it. And let's go have some fun. All right, so here we are in the lobby of DNA Garage, sitting here with Louis Escamilla. Thank you for coming on the show, Louis. I appreciate you having questions for you. The first one is, you've been serving the Rotary community exclusively for almost 20 years, and what I wonder is, what are some notable changes or some events that have happened in that time that maybe are pivotal to some things that have dramatically changed or just sat with you, either in a good way or a bad way?
I'm thinking in a good way is we've overcome, I should say, all the issues and all the bad reputation that the rotary engine had. A lot of the stuff now that all of us have invested time and put together and made these cars stay together is beyond what I think anybody else has done. I mean, right now, if you do everything right, you can get RX8 FDs to basically drive like a Honda. You know, take them from here to Vegas to Miami, wherever you want to go. They're reliable.
I kind of wonder if the forums might disagree with you on the reliability going from California to Vegas. These guys nowadays seem to think these engines blow as often as they have oil changes.
Treat this car like it's meant to be treated, and don't expect to add intake, exhaust, remove the cats, and the computer do its own thing and adjust, then you'll be all right. You know what I mean? You have to, it's not, in a way, it's not like a regular piston motor where you can put bolt-ons and the car will be solid, where that's not the case with these cars, especially being the older cars. RX8s, you can do more stuff with them, they're easier as far as the computer compensating for a lot of stuff, but the older RX7s are not. And that's where we all get the bad reputation. I mean, I've got customers from Washington, from Arizona, from Texas, and they drive the cars back and forth to me, and not a single.
Well, that's good to hear, because you know, the people on the forums really have a lot of bad things. Even the RX8 owners, it's an odd schism that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, like I said, it's a matter of you can't just think of it as a basic car. I mean, a lot of people, well, we refer to them as, oh, it's a poor man's Ferrari. So that in me, with that sentence, it's like you got to kind of treat it like that. You know, you got to maintenance it, do your oil changes, do your plugs, make sure everything is running correct. And if you treat it right, it's going to treat you back exactly the same. As far as servicing and maintenance, I mean, because these cars, the more you beat on them, the more you drive them hard, the better they like it and they stay together. At least that's from my experience.
Right, so next question, do you see more RX7s or more RX8s in the shop?
It's kind of a tricky question. I see a lot of RX8s for service, maintenance, stuff like that. RX7s, I see more of full builds and restorations.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, there's a lot more RX7s, but there's still a certain percentage of RX8s.
Summer of 2023 will mark the 20th anniversary of the RX8 being delivered to the U.S. market. If I recall correctly, they were starting to hit the floors around July of July of 2003.
Yeah.
And I know I got mine in September or October of that same year.
Okay.
When the car first came out, did you go to a dealership and check it out?
Well, that's a funny story, because I went to 7-stock back when I was at the old Mazda Research and Development.
I think that
right here in Irvine.
That may have been where you and I first met, perhaps?
Maybe.
I don't recall that, but
it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the prototype there before production, and I fell in love with the car. I fell in love with it. A lot of people are saying the back doors and all this, like, that doesn't matter. Close the doors, the car looks beautiful. And I like the way the prototype design was at the lights. When I seen the new one came out into production, I didn't go out and test drive one, but a customer did bring one, and I loved it. I mean, to me, the chassis is better than an FD chassis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suspension-wise and subframe, or chassis itself, I think it's a better platform than an FD.
Well, that might be a controversial comment between the FD crowd and the RX8 crowd. We'll see what they have to say to Louis. How can the viewers reach you?
We've got our Instagram, which is official DNA Garage. Facebook, we're on YouTube also as DN Works, or myself. Reach me on my cell phone number. It's on our medias. All our numbers and everything are there. So feel free to give us a call.
I think that's dnagarage.co.
Yeah.
If I recall. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I got one more question for you.
Sure.
It's something we might actually have in common as small business owners. Mm-hmm. On your website, you have a really good 15-minute video, nicely produced. And one of the questions that was asked that I want to revisit is about your wife, Rochelle.
Yeah.
And her role, her fundamental role in encouraging you to open up your own shop that you had wanted to do for a long time. And you seemed a bit sentimental about it. And I could relate to that because my wife, she calls herself Mrs. BHR now because she met Rochelle, who calls herself Mrs. DNA. So we've kind of picked that up from you. And I just wanted to have you revisit a little bit of that period and what it means to you now that she's here. She was here when we showed up a minute ago. And I'll explain it this way. My wife was very instrumental too. We met 2 years after I'd started Black Halo. And without her having my back to get all the administrative stuff in line, I probably would not have been able to focus on product design and development manufacturing. So when I saw how you felt in that video, I could relate to it because I feel the same way. If I'm given the chance to talk about it, I get a little soft as well.
Yeah.
So,
It's a hard question in the emotional part because she's my backbone. Here we go. I'm not, how can I say this? I'm not the hard guy. I'm not the guy who always has a guard up. So a lot of people see that, and she kind of shapes me and gets me straight. Because if not, I guarantee you a lot of people would walk over me. And she helps me with the shop. She helps me with everything. I mean, without her, I don't think I'd be able to do it. She keeps me on the right track. She keeps me out of doing dumb stuff. I mean, we love cars. Speed comes with cars. You know, driving comes with cars. So when I get behind the wheel, her and the kids pop in my head. And that slows me down. If that kind of related in that way. As far as the business-wise, I mean, it's without her, there's no DNA.
Well, you did have quite a number of customers and employees that also did little segments here and there on the video. And one of the things that was commonly expressed and is expressed on comments on social media and so forth is the personal connection that you have with each and every one of your customers. And that's how I feel as well. That's why I don't have a dealer network for my products because I want to process every order. If a customer's got a problem, I like to tell them. You know, in a shop setting like this, you're going to have direct customer relations because they're trusting you with their beloved vehicles. In my case, for example, I'm shipping products out, but I like the customer to know that even though I'm an online retailer, I'm the one processing each order, and then they know they don't have to go through 7 levels of bureaucracy if they've got a problem or a concern or a question or what have you. So that's, to me, that's the strength of small business in America, is that we have that direct passion for our customers' satisfaction and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, to make it kind of simple, it's like this industry that we're in and what we're doing with the limited amount of cars that we can work on because of production, it's not a business where you're going to become a millionaire. You know, so if you're going to do it, it's because you take pride in what you do, you like what you do, and you stand behind your work and your product in your case. You know, and same thing when the customer comes in with me and they're like, oh, I want to do a build, I want to do this. I was like, all right, you're not just going to drop off the car. Come in the office, we'll have a meeting, let me know what your goals are, let me know what your dreams are, let me know what you want, and we'll put something together. And I'll make your thoughts and your dreams or come to reality and make your dreams come true, basically. And that's how I work. And same thing with everybody in the back of the shop. We're all family. I've had, out of all the employees that we have, you know, usually there's 1, possibly 2 that are not family. But once you're here a week, everybody becomes. All
right, Louis, now we're going to end the show, the program. I don't know what to call this channel thing yet. I've got some We're going to call this segment Pick One.
Okay.
And I've got 4 questions for you.
Okay.
The first one might seem redundant, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. RX7 or RX8?
It's a tough one. Probably RX7.
RX7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just because my very first car was an FC, and that's what I love. I've got an FD, but it wasn't kind of by choice, you know?
Okay.
But FC that's my life.
Well, that goes to what my second question was going to
Okay.
be. If you answered RX8, I was going to say Series 1 or Series 2, but, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the third question. And okay. Boosted 13B or NA20B?
My driving intuition would say turbo. My love for the car, my love for the sound, the feel would be 20B NA.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to have a 20B in my RX8, but
Yeah.
you know how expensive
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
And this is probably going to be the most important question I've asked all day, so brace yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Which oil is best for the rotary?
Well, I'll tell you this much. There's a couple oils that we tend to use. If you ask me about my personal cars, customers probably wouldn't want to know, but I use the cheapest of Castro on my personal cars.
Okay.
Customers, I've got a couple choices, which is Motul. I also use Valvoline VR1 1550 or 2050, whichever combination. I always get it confused. And the other one is I've started trying that new renewable lubricants, but I don't have a say on it yet because I haven't had to take an engine apart that's been running that oil. Redline I use for probably, drivetrain, but engine-wise, because of personal experience on our race cars, Motul 300V is what we'd run on the race cars, has been like the ultimate. And second to that would be the VR1.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Louis, thank you very much for having
Not a
Black
problem.
Halo Racing out to DNA Garage. We appreciate the friendship we've had for a while. We don't
Yeah.
see each other too often, and with
Yeah.
the stuff going on around the country, the COVID deal,
Exactly.
7 stock's been a real pain. And
Yeah.
But if California's going to be cool about it, we're going to be there this
Let's
year.
do it. Let's
Gathering
do it.
more video for the channel and all that sort of stuff. So
That'd be
thanks, my
great.
man. And
Not
I
a
wish you
problem.
luck in
That's
the
what we're
future.
here for. Same to you.
All righty.
Cool.
Well, we made it back home safely after another episode of Rotor Tripping with BHR. Thank you for tuning in. If you're a member of a car club or an owner of a business and you want to get us on your itinerary, have us come out and check your place out, feel free to hit us up at blackhalo.racing@yahoo.com. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our various channels. We've got a couple of them out there. We've got the Black Halo Racing YouTube channel, and we've also got the new Rotor Tripping channel that you just watched. Time for me to hit the shop, take care of a few orders, get them shipped out for y'all. Thanks again for tuning in to Rotor Tripping with BHR. We'll see you next time.